Hello everyone, and namaste. Welcome to another video, again on the Kybalion and the 7 hermetic principles or laws of the universe. And in the first video was the introduction. The second was on the first principle, which was all is the mind. And I kind of want to briefly go over that and discuss the importance of that particular concept, because all the remaining other principles kind of fall under the first one, which is that the all, or everything that we consider as the universe, or the source, or everything that's outside our physical view, is considered to be the all. And that all, the principle of the first principle, is that this all is nothing but a mind, or you can call it the supercomputer, you can call it the matrix, or you can call it the universal consciousness. The ultimate source creator is, according to the hermetic philosophy, is a mind. It's a massive supercomputer. So we're all just a part or within the mind of this massive superstructure, or the brain. And understanding that first principle, and according to hermetic philosophy, these laws are eternal, immutable. They cannot be changed, they cannot be broken. So whether you're on Earth, or whether you're on Moon, or whether you're in another galaxy in the universe, these laws stand, and these laws are what the entire creation is made, that everything that's a part of the creation follows these laws. So coming on to the second principle, which is the principle of correspondence. And it starts with the maxim, as above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without, as without, so within. So it is called the law of correspondence. And this principle is basically, in a nutshell, what it means is that if you consider that the earth is revolving around the sun, which is happening outside of us, technically, outside of our physical, as we know who we are, outside of us, it's happening, we're on Earth, and the Earth is, revolving around the sun. If you can imagine that same revolving as without is happening within, you think about the electrons that are moving around the atom. The electrons and the protons and the neutrons that are moving around the central atom. And that is happening. And that is, as the universe outside, so the universe within. And that is what basically the law of correspondence is saying, that just the way you imagine the functioning of the universe outside of you is just reflecting the functioning of the universe that is in you or within you. And there are various ways that we can understand as within, so without, and as without, so within. And one example that I can think of, as you all know, I do a lot of cosmetic work, and I work with lasers, and in the spa, we would see a lot of clients that would come in, and they would come in for skin needs, for anti-aging and improving their skin. But there's always, and I've mentioned in other videos, I always feel that it's never just the skin, right? We all know that it's never just the skin that's aging. There are several different organs in the body that are aging with the aging process, that are all connected, and the skin is just covering the body and is reflecting the aging outside. That is one simplified way that we're looking as within, so without. Another way we can understand this is you have a young client that comes to you, or a young patient that comes, and and they've gone through a lot in their life, whether it's a treatment for radiation or chemotherapy because of an early cancer, or gone through emotional things in their life with relationships, and have abused alcohol or drugs or smoked, you would see a lot of change in their skin, and so they have done a lot of emotional there was a lot of emotional trauma to the mind and the body, and that is being reflected in the skin. So as within, so without. So if you are feeling down and depressed and unhealthy inside, that is what you're going to reflect on the outside. And it's going to be like, oh, are you feeling okay? You don't look so good today. You're going to give out that vibration of you feeling kind of low on the inside. So that's a very simplified way we can understand as within, so without. And as without, so within, it's if you imagine being in a place or in an environment where you don't feel comfortable, where you don't feel safe, you don't feel that it's a rough neighborhood, and the crime rate is high, and you're around things that are making you feel uncomfortable. It's going to reflect on the inside with emotions of anxiety, of fear, of insecurity, because you feel threatened, because you feel that you have no control over what is happening outside, and it's just becoming as without, so within. And so this is the law of correspondence. So a lot of times within this law, they say it is very important that you're guarding what is going through your eyes, through your ears, and what you're taking in, because all of this is going to have more of an effect, because whatever is happening on the outside, if it is imbalanced, you take that imbalance within, you're changing on the inside. Similarly, if you want to change what is outside, you have to focus on the inside. So eating healthy, having an exercise routine that improves your blood flow, having reading books, or having a routine of meditation or mindfulness that's going to help clear out a lot of what you're holding inside emotionally, energetically, is suddenly going to start changing your outside environment. And that's basically the law of correspondence. So as within, so without, as without, so within. As below, so above. We talked about the atoms and the planets moving, and the electrons in the atoms, and that is the same reflected movement. And similarly, if you think about who's elected as president, the president that is going to be elected is going to be a reflection of what is the mental state of the majority of people within the country. So if we have President X as the president, it's because the majority of people that have elected him have been in the same mental vibration as the one that is elected. And so he gets elected. As below, so above. As above, so below. And so these are some examples of the law of correspondence. Very important in this law is also to understand the law of vibration, which is law number 3. But I would mention a little bit about the law of vibration, because I feel like it really connects the first law and the second law, and almost could be like in between the two. So if you think about like all being the mind, right? If you think about all as the mind, then everything contained within the mind is a part of the mind and should be same as the mind, or should be made of the same particles. So each and every atom and ion that we have in our bodies are a part of the all, a part of the universal consciousness, or a part of the massive supercomputer. So what is making us different from the all? So here is where Hermes, or the hermetic philosophy, goes into the different planes of reality. So he talks about what is considered to be a physical plane, a mental plane, and a spiritual plane. So we have these 3 planes, just like the way we talk about kosha, so the different dimensions of the body. In Hermeticism, they talk about these 3 planes. So the physical plane is where the matter is the densest. So you're seeing your reality as the trees, the plants, your physical body, And even in this physical plane, you have levels. So you have 7 different ways that it's separated, but we won't go into the depth of that. It goes up to the point where it talks about the energetic body as well. So where everything from the energy based body, emotional, and down is the physical plane. And then it goes into the mental plane, which is more of the mind. Again, the mind is also divided into various different, it's almost like 7 subcategories within the mind, and the spiritual plane also has subcategories, but we won't go into the depth of that. If you're interested, definitely I would encourage you to read the Law of Correspondence in more depth. But what pertains to us is to understand that we are, as physical beings, connected from, there's not, the only difference between our physical body and what we consider as a God, which is also within the all, or spirits, or angels and and that's if you believe they exist. Which for at a certain mental and spiritual plane, if you think about it, it would actually be a certain vibration. So each one of us is made up of particles like the atoms and electrons and protons and neutrons, and we are made of the same fabric as everything else is made in the universe. And so when we have this similarity in our fabric, or the material that the fabric is made up of, the only difference between my constitution and a constitution of something that is not within the physical plane would be a matter of how different my frequency is, or my vibration is, compared to the matter that I'm not able to see, or it is in another dimension or another plane of existence. And that is what the 3rd principle of describes, and it talks about the law of vibration, that everything between the most physical objective object to the most abstract spirit, or the all, the difference is the vibration of the particles. And they say the more denser the object, or the more physical form it has, the slower the particles are moving, whereas the less the form, more energy, more as the form disappears, the particles are moving a lot faster, so there's no formation of a denser particle. It becomes more energy, more fluid, and so the spirit is nothing but very, very high vibration, a very, very high vibration. And I really appreciate the law of vibration, because this is where I feel if you think about healing that has happened over the centuries with different practices like Reiki and various other types of massages, a lot of it has to do with the law of vibration. It's the law of changing or transmuting frequencies of energy or vibrations in which different particles are their energy is, or their vibration is, and transmuting that or changing it to a different frequency. And that's where the healing is occurring, or that's where the person that's being healed is suddenly starting to feel, okay, there's some improvement. Like, you go to a Reiki session and you feel like, oh yeah, my back is feeling better, or I feel less stressed, and something has changed. And so we can understand these various different esoteric healing practices by these 7 laws or 7 principles of hermeticism. So that's what I wanted to talk about with the law of correspondence. I do feel like over time, we'll probably do like more sub videos. You let me know if this is if you resonate with this, and please definitely like and subscribe. You can like the video and subscribe, and we're gonna know if this resonated with you at all, and if you would like to know more information on it. I do plan to probably make more in-depth videos with each law and we can, go deeper into the planes. And if you're interested, if you like the video, I will know that that's something that you guys want. So I will go into that as well. So the next video will be on the law of vibration, and we'll go deeper into that. And other than that, if you, please do like and subscribe. So thank you for your time. Namaste.